Well, hello. So I'm on the way to my mom's house. I have to take her to an appointment. So I won't have time to make much of a video today. But it's a beautiful sunny day. It's 65 degrees. Would be a nice day to start cleaning up the garden, but that's not going to happen today. By the time I get home, it's going to be too late. I'll be too tired. Oops, I'm backing out of my driveway and this silly thing beeps at everything. What did we ever do before we had all these gizmos on our cars? Now, I do love the heated seats. Those are great. And the heated steering wheel, too. But I'm not a fan of a lot of the other beeps and whistles and all that stuff that comes on the cars. So I don't use them. Another nice feature is you can answer your phone by just tapping the steering wheel. So that's a nice feature, but I didn't have all that stuff on my other car, and I didn't miss it when I didn't have it. So I don't know. I think we rely more and more on technology, and I don't think that's a really good thing. It's nice and convenient sometimes. Like I had to look up the address of where I'm going, so I just asked Alexa and she gave it to me. So that's much nicer than using a phone book, in my opinion. But, you know, they still sometimes send phone books. What a waste of trees. So anyway, yeah, I'm not planning on doing much of anything at home today. It seems like anymore I can only handle doing one thing at a time. So if I have a big long to-do list, I maybe get to 2 things, and that's about it. And then it's like, oh, forget it. We'll put it on tomorrow's to-do list. So do you guys do that too? I don't know. I used to get a lot done, but not anymore. And that's why I find it imperative that I simplify. You know, as we grow older, we have to make adjustments to our physical and mental ability. And we just have to figure, well, you know, it's only going to get more so rather than less. You know, you're not going to get as strong as you were when you were younger, or you're not going to, your skin isn't going to look as good, but that's not a big deal. You know, you just kind of have to learn to go with it, not make it a thing of anxiety and depression. You know, it's just the way it is as you grow older. So the worst part of growing older is, of course, medical conditions. Now, some people are lucky their whole life, and I was always very healthy. I didn't have a lot of medical issues. I mean, I've had my stomach issues off and on for years, but mostly off. But that's changed. So that to me is the worst part of growing older, is that all of a sudden your medical issues that you had, they kind of become more pronounced. So, but anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that. It is what it is. I'll just do what I can, and hopefully I'll find a solution. And I know many of you have a lot of health issues too. So it's not a pleasant thing to have to deal with, in my opinion. Well, I don't know anybody that's ever said, oh, I have this illness and it's great. Not one person. So, you know, this video today is going to be short and sweet because I'm on the way to Mom's, and I don't know. I may take her to get something to eat afterwards, but I'm not going to be able to eat too much because last night I was up most of the night again with the same issue, but I did not go to the emergency room because it's happened twice now, and it's just something that comes and goes. So I pop a few antacids and hope for the best. So I know a lot of you have made suggestions, and I know I have to modify my diet even more. And that's just the way it is. And if it means that I can't eat certain things, then I can't eat certain things. Now, one of the books that I purchased is a 28-day healing plan, and I haven't gotten the book yet. There's a couple books I ordered that I haven't gotten yet, and it's just very confusing. You know, this one says, yeah, go ahead and eat mushrooms. That one says, no way, don't eat mushrooms. You can eat this mushroom, but not that mushroom. You know, just stuff like that. You can eat garlic, you can't eat garlic. But I know onions are a problem for me. And I love onions. I love sweet onions. So, and I've always liked to cook with onions. I like to add onion powder, garlic powder to everything. So I think I'm going to have to cut that out, at least for now, and see, maybe I can reintroduce it at some point. But we'll see. It's all a trial and error. And I think a lot of you guys with medical problems, when you're first diagnosed, you know, you don't quite know what to do. So by reading up on it and figuring out what works for you may not work for somebody else. I mean, our bodies are all unique. And we just have to find the sweet spot that works. So, I mean, I'm so glad I don't date, because this would be a big problem if I had to date somebody, and I have no interest in that at all. So, you know, it's bad enough you have to deal with your own issues, let alone with your date's issues of whatever they've got going, or, you know, they may not like what's going on with you. That was a big deal with ex-husband number 2. You know, he was always, it's like, oh, you know, why can't you eat this? Why can't you eat that? Well, because. So, and it just caused stress. So, yeah, I have no interest in that. I have no interest in hooking up with anybody. And as a friend, okay. But other than that, I'm fine. So anyway, I don't know. Do you guys feel like that? I know a lot of you are widows. And do you wish you could find somebody and have a relationship? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I'm not one of those people. I had the men I loved, and that was enough. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. So yeah, I wish the leaves would come out on the trees. Things would look so much nicer. But we're still going to get some snow. I know we are, because it's only the beginning of March. And here it snows through mid-April. In fact, you're not even supposed to plant your gardens until May 15th. So, oh, and the hummingbirds are coming back between April 15th and April 30th here in my area in northern Ohio. So if you like to feed the hummingbirds, they're going to be really hungry from their long, long flight from South America. So you can start putting out your hummingbird feeders like mid-April. So I like to feed the hummingbirds. Sometimes by the end of the season, it gets a little tedious as I make my own sugar water. And I don't get a ton of hummingbirds. I get like maybe 3 or 4 that come to the feeder. So it's really a waste for me to fill the feeder all the way up. So I just, make a small batch. But yeah, so I'm going to do that this year. This year, I really do want to fix up my little hummingbird feeder station. I mean, it's okay the way it is, but it's kind of leaning. It's just up on a shepherd hook. So I have to straighten that out, and I want to do a lot of painting of furniture and things in my garden this year, just to spiffy it up a little bit, and then it'll look nice. I know some people will say, oh, all you have back there are containers. Well, yeah, I have a container garden. I used to have a little secret garden back there that was just absolutely beautiful. But when I got the dogs, that kind of all got trampled, and I had to put the fencing up, but it was worth it. It was worth it to get rid of the garden. And that's part of the reason why I have everything in containers, is to keep the dogs out of it, because they will trample it. So, so you got to do what you got to do. Plus, I don't want to be gardening on the ground. I want something up high, and the only way I'm going to get that is in containers. So the containers are going to stay. And it looks nice once I get all the flowers planted in there, and I intersperse it with vegetables. So I'm debating if I should even plant any of the nightshade vegetables, because they can also trigger autoimmune responses. I don't know if you know that or not. And those include eggplant, peppers, tomatoes, vegetables like that. So apparently leafy greens are what I should be eating. And some things say to cook them, and some things say a salad is okay. So again, it's something that has to be a trial and error. Some people can't digest raw roughage, and other people can. So, and if worse comes to worse, you can always stick things in a smoothie and make it more a liquid diet. And I'm thinking about maybe trying that for a few days and seeing if that helps. But yeah, there is so much information out there. It's really mind-boggling. So I guess you just have to pick a diet and stick with it for a couple weeks anyway, and see if that's the diet for you and if that works. And I know a lot of people, as you grow older, can't tolerate foods that they used to love and eat all the time when they were younger. And I know a lot of you have said that you pop a lot of antacids, and I can understand why, because I'm getting in that mode too. So it's just a miserable feeling. Part of mine, I think, is hereditary. My grandpa on my mom's side had a lot of GI problems. Now, my mom doesn't have that. My dad didn't have that. But apparently I inherited it from my opa. So, and I'm sure he would be upset if he knew that he passed that on to me, but well, what are you going to do? Genetics play a lot in disease, whether you get a disease or not. I know lifestyle does too, but you have to keep genetics in mind as well. And you can lower your chances, but still, we all have an expiration date. So anyway, yeah, I'm glad it's a nice day and not snowing because I had to cancel this appointment twice. And I think they were already getting annoyed with me. But I had to cancel it twice because it was, really bad weather. And I didn't want to take my mom out in that. So, but today is the day. And even if it would have been bad, I think I still would have gone because she needs to go to this appointment. It's for her hearing, and she does not hear well at all anymore. Sometimes worse, and sometimes a little better. But that's all, she's going to be 96 this month. So it's part of aging too. So hopefully you have a family that's supportive when you get older and you don't have to tough it out alone. But if you are alone, reach out to your community. Maybe you have a nice neighbor that can help you out. But there's lots of community resources out there that might be able to help you. So, all right, my friends, well, I'm going to call it a day with the YouTube. And that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you. And I'll see you next time. Oh, gotta do it with this hand.